Hello everybody, it's been a while. Better microphone. I've had this for a while now, but I actually have two of them. It's a proper microphone. I just haven't used it much, but I have now. Is this my streaming page? Bring this to the front. I wait for it to update. Make sure it's working. Make sure I'm being heard as well. I'm not being heard. Why is this? Why is it that I'm not being... Oh, that's why. Okay. Why is this? Okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll just keep it like that. And we'll just full screen. Okay, 2:13 a.m. in the morning for Australian Central Time. 2:13 a.m. So, quite a lot to cover. First off, I want to go to the deep state and I want to just chat about a few things. So, first off, I wanted to kind of analyze the question of who is winning, and I want to start that off by just stating nobody's winning. Nobody's winning at this point. And yeah, sure, Russia's advancing into Ukrainian territory, but if you put that next to how many troops they're losing, it really shows what is truly happening. But Ukraine, they're finding it hard to stop Russian advance. The Russian advance in itself is quite slow and sluggish. They're slowly but surely making their way through. Very slowly and somewhat slowly. Now, something else I noticed is that they're still yet to actually make up the territories that they lost during the beginning of the conflict. If you don't know what all these colors mean, pretty much red is just like red and purple is territories occupied by Russia. Grey inside Ukraine is just, Ukraine. Green is territories Russia used to own, territories that were occupied by Russia that Ukraine liberated. And blue is Ukrainian territories liberated or occupied, whatever you want, inside of Russian territories. So I just wanted to discuss this for a bit to kind of just answer the question. And yeah, the question in itself, yes, obviously nobody's winning. Nobody is winning here, but the question is who's who's doing the best, who's not as worse off than the other person in the other nation. And in my personal opinion, there's not really any answer to that right now. I mean, sure, Ukraine is in Russian territories, but they're not advancing much. And sure, Russia is well inside Ukrainian territories, but they're losing so many troops. It's insane how many troops they're losing. Even with North Korea now officially joining the war and sending troops, they're still really advancing at the same rate. And if you look at their lines close up, it's going back to what caused them that initial massive, catastrophic failure at the start of the war that kind of that massive blow to the Russian military, which was what you're seeing right here. This was when the Russian military launched the invasion, the very beginning of the war. Very beginning of the war, they launched this invasion. They, in my opinion, it wasn't planned very well. Now, it is a bit of a territorial advantage for the Ukrainians, because they launched from Belarusian territories. Because of this, like, river ocean thing right here, the Kyiv Reservoir. Because of the Kyiv Reservoir, they couldn't actually cut straight through to Kyiv. So that meant that Ukrainian defending forces would only have to defend this way and that way, knowing that there's a river there, instead of having to defend the whole border around Kyiv. Because they knew that they were going to come down this way, and there were troops coming in from that way that weren't coming down from here. So why it failed is, in my opinion, it's because the Russians didn't reach the capital fast enough. They were kind of too busy around here and occupying this stuff, when actually their focus should have been occupying Kyiv. Still, even if they did occupy Kyiv, I don't think they would have held it for long. I think an actual occupation of Kyiv in my opinion, Kyiv being occupied, I think the whole world would be in a very different place right now. It's just weird to think that it was just simply 19 kilometers from the world being a very different place. So, very happy Russia didn't reach Kyiv, and I hope they don't reach it again. I hope that the Russian military understands that reaching Kyiv again, actually even just reaching just the borders, outskirts of it, actually, that in itself, reaching the borders of Kyiv, would be just give up. That this is lost cause. But I hope they understand that taking Kyiv at this point in time, with how weak the Russian military is and the position they've got themselves into, it's impossible. It is quite literally impossible. No matter where they launch from, even here, they've got, the Ukrainian military has, like, security maximum on Kyiv. Before they even step foot on Ukrainian soil, there'd already be drones reporting their presence to the Ukrainian military. The Ukrainian military drones, actually. So it's just, they can't launch from here. There's no chance they're coming in through here fast enough. Kyiv, they can't reach Kyiv. I think the most they can get, they're not crossing the Kherson, there's no way. It's too much of a tactical and territorial advantage. It's too much of a geographical, it's too much of a geographical advantage for Ukraine, for Russia to actually, cross back over the Kherson and attempt to take territories here again. That's just way too much of a Ukrainian advantage there. The reason why there's not as many battalions around this part is because there's not much Russian interest around this part. What Russia wants is they want the front line here, arrowhead there. Right now, apologies. That is from the little spearhead. Put it here. That is quite the daunting task, given that it was just like 6 months ago that they were here. They were around here. I remember they were around this river, I believe. Yes, what's not happening? I don't even reckon they can. like, unless they randomly begun advancing extremely fast out of nowhere, I don't reckon they can do it. Also, I don't understand why they've done it from here, because they're gonna have to, even if they do reach there, they're gonna have to cross the Dnipro River to get to Dnipro. I don't understand why they wouldn't just launch their attack from here, cross the river early, and then it's just free reigns run on to the rest of Dnipro. Because even if they do manage to just push through all the way over here, the Ukrainians are again going to have a territorial and geographical advantage thanks to the river that the Russians are going to have to, they're going to have a hard time crossing. As long as the Ukrainians lock down the bridges and don't let them get past, it's going to be quite the task. I think what Russia wants at this point is, I don't think, like, the Russian military isn't that dumb to think that taking Kyiv, or let alone the whole of Ukraine, is still a possibility. They're not getting past Kyiv. They're not even going to get past here, actually. But, here. But, I think what they want now is just as much territory as possible to make it look like they had the most effect. But if you think about it technically, as long as they don't reoccupy what they used to own, so like this, all this green, and all that green, which they're not going to do thanks to the Kherson River and the geographical advantage that the Ukrainians have. Not only that, but just the actual territory itself, and if you look at the terrain itself, you'll just see there's another river going through it. It's just going to be extremely hard for them to retake this. If you think of it technically, they're not going to leave the war with much unless they retake that. This has been supposed to be a 3-day operation, now zoning into 4 years. It's supposed to be 3 days. Now we're closing in on 4 years that this has been going. With really, from the Russian military, you would expect to see much more advancements. And I agree. I would expect to see much more advancements from the Russian military myself. But it's not happening. They're not living up to their name, really. But I do understand. I mean, like, the amount of support Ukraine is getting from, like, NATO and all the volunteers. But, I mean, that's kind of what happens when you invade a country. The country gets support. I don't know why Russia didn't plan for that. The country that they just invaded and started shelling, getting support. I don't know why they didn't do that. But, yeah. I don't know if they're going for, like, some encirclement tactics here or something. Like, I don't know. The Russian, it's not a mess, but it's a mess, if you know what I mean. Like, it's a tactical mess. They're just got this arrowhead going, it's going past water actually, but it doesn't mean you just turn it. But still, the river, that's going to be quite an issue. And, yeah, it's just, if it was up to me, if I was planning the assault, I would have continued along here, pushed past, and then what I would have done is I would have got some sort, I would have relied on the Air Force. If I was a Russian military leader in this situation, I would have got the Russian Air Force to strike targets around on this side of the river, and I'd use that as cover to quickly get the troops across, station themselves, and then quickly get more troops across, then just advance, kind of make a little holdout here, getting prepared, and then I would start moving towards Dnipro. I'd probably miss Zaporizhia, but I'd get her out here before launching a second assault from here that follows along this side of the river and then takes Zaporizhia. Still, remember, they have the bridges. The bridges exist. And, well, obviously there would be Ukrainian resistance, but most large amount of Zaporizhia is on this side of the river anyway. But yeah, I would just advance, and since there's no river to have to cross when you're literally just getting to Dnipro, it would make the actual battle for Dnipro much easier, and you would actually take the city centre and the central city much easier. So you see this, look at, this is all Dnipro on this side of the river, and that's what they got on that side of the river. There's still quite a lot, but the city centre is on that side. So, I don't know, it's just the little things that make the biggest difference. I think I was thinking the other day, and I had this idea. If Ukraine really wanted Kursk, like they could take, I don't know, if they really wanted to take like the whole Kursk Oblast, and then I'd prefer they actually just keep it, because there's ethnic Ukrainians there who, as we've seen, want to be under Ukraine again. When Ukraine went into Sudza and other cities in Kursk, there was no resistance by the civilians. A lot of them were actually welcomed into Kursk. So yeah, but if Ukraine could use Kursk as a possible bargain for, like, I think Crimea might be stretching it a bit, but like, I don't know, possible bargain for pulling off the Kherson River, cutting their lines here and letting the Ukrainians get on the other side of the river, and taking this, or just, don't know, giving up this whole plot, just whatever. I think Kursk could be a real political and tactical advantage if it was taken. Like, I do believe that it should be under Ukrainian ownership because of the ethnic Ukrainians living there. But yeah. So, I guess the answer to the question, who is winning the Ukraine war, would really be no one at the moment, but most likely soon to be Ukraine. Donald Trump has said that Russia is weaker than ever and needs to reach an immediate ceasefire with Ukraine. And if Donald Trump's saying that, it's true. Donald Trump doesn't lie. People think he does. He doesn't. Please check your facts, people. Whenever you see something, not even about Donald Trump, about anyone, please check your facts on it, because I don't like talking to people who are uneducated but think they're educated, because it's quite the conversation. But please check your facts, and also, Trump is not wrong. Russia is extremely weak, and the thing is, I'm not avoiding how weak Ukraine is. Ukraine is extremely weak as well, and in my opinion, it's honestly the supports that is like continuing to hold them up. But that's justified. That is justified. I mean, like, it's kind of what happens when you invade a country, and I understand why Ukraine is getting the support and the supplies it is getting. It makes sense to me that they get that. I don't see why they wouldn't get that. But yeah, I think if there wasn't as much NATO support, I think the whole of Ukraine wouldn't have been taken. I think what would have happened was Russia would be winning right now. They would just be rapidly advancing with not as much losses, because it's just people who aren't as militarily and politically educated and invested, and look at situations like this, they think it's like whoever takes the most territory is, winning. When in reality it's not always that. As much as Russia is advancing, if you look at the amount of casualties and losses, of the mechanized brigades, vehicles, drones, troops, whatever, everything, it's just, and you put it side by side to how much they're advancing and what they're really losing for how much they advance, you start to realize that it's not what's the word? It's not as successful as originally thought. But yeah, so right now, don't think anybody's winning, but soon Ukraine will most likely start winning. I think if Ukraine, for example, maybe just here or somewhere, maybe just, here, gathered all their troops around here, started pushing up, and then eventually out, and circling all these battalions, even though that probably wouldn't work, they'd escape by the time. Or maybe if they started from here, this point, Pinhead, and then met somewhere. If they did that, I don't know. If they launched one, massive assault, I honestly think that could, seal the war. I'm not saying they could retake all the territories, because that would be, I'm gonna be honest, that would be near impossible. I don't think they could retake all the territories. I think if Ukraine did want to retake all the territories, they're gonna have to reach some sort of peace agreement with Russia. But I think Ukraine is waiting for Russia to make that peace agreement first, and Russia to actually become self-aware of how much they've lost. But that's the thing, Russia's lost so much that they can't afford to lose the war, or they can't afford to get less than what they earned for what they lost. So for all they've lost, and all the troops, and all the men, and all the vehicles, they maybe just get a little bit more territory. Russia probably wouldn't be happy with that. But I know Russia probably just wants the whole of Ukraine, but it's not going to happen like that. So, yeah. But I think what Ukraine's best move would be is to launch a massive offensive, and then ask Russia and the Russian military to surrender, and then continue their advance, ask for external aid to just continue the advance on their offensive, and then hopefully eventually reach a peace agreement with the Russian military. And then they'll use that time to just rebuild their country. I think once this war finally stops, because I used to be scared that when people say, oh, when this war finally stops, that it was going to be Ukraine that ends up losing, and they lose all the land, all of their territories. But now I don't think that that's going to happen. I think it's impossible that Ukraine loses all of their land. Unless, I think the only hope for the Russian military, which is, by the way, actually, out of their control, would be, a massive pro-Russian uprising in Kyiv out of nowhere with massive support, complete surprise, overthrows the government, and then somehow manages to turn the the likings of the people to become more liking of the Russians, so they It's just impossible. It is simply impossible. I don't understand how Russian full annexation of Ukraine can be achieved. I don't think it can be achieved, actually. But yeah, it's interesting. It is indeed very interesting. But yeah, I think once this war finally stops, Ukraine's aim shouldn't be to quickly get their military back up and then go for the rest of the territories. I think Ukraine's goal is just to be rebuild their country and just, yeah, that's that. Because if they get like a peace agreement there's peace between states for like 3 years, that doesn't mean that after 3 years they'll instantly go back to war. It's like has to be peace between the two countries 3 years. If Russia breaks that, and they've just stuffed themselves, because now you got NATO on your ass, and Russia does not want NATO on its ass. That's why that's quote unquote why they invaded Ukraine in the first place, because they didn't want it to be a NATO head base or whatever. But yeah. Now, second phase of the stream. Go to LiveUA. Now, I want to look at what's going on in Syria. The Israeli airstrikes on the ex-government troops and whatnot have ceased. This is good. The IAF did what they needed to do. They stocked military hardware. There was some complications along the way. I think a few Israeli soldiers, they fired towards a TV crew, but it doesn't mean you should pin that on the whole military. A few bad soldiers doesn't mean that's the whole face of the whole IDF. But yeah, they got what they needed to do done. Hopefully this buffer zone they'll pull out of soon. And yeah, Israel did what they needed to do, and that's that. I think the actual fighting, there's fighting still going, don't get me wrong. Like the Turkish is now aiming for SDF SDF targets, which in my opinion, like, I'm a Shivdiv YouTuber. Great shout out to him, I love him. He was with the YPG for quite some time. He recently made a video talking about why he joined the YPG, and that honestly completely reshaped my view on YPG, YPJ, SDF. And even though I knew that when those videos are being recorded, the Turkish were obviously still extensively fighting with the YPG, YPJ and SDF. It's just, yeah. So, like, Syria under the Syrian nationalists, the nationals, yeah, so the nationalists, they are nationalists, good, we like nationalism, cool people like nationalism, Syria under the SNA, the Syrian nationalists, is good. It's good, but I have to admit, I think Syria under the SDF would be better. It's still good, and I don't think an SDF ruling of Syria is possible. Like, it might be. People didn't think that the rebels overthrowing the government just coming out of here was possible, but they did it. But yeah, I'm still very happy that the Syrian nationalists are in power, and they did win. But I think, I'm gonna be honest, the SDF in the country would be a bit better. Because I think the SDF, the SNA, the Syrian nationalists are they're fairly inclusive. Like, they don't, from what I've seen, I think there was some stuff that happened with churches that was quite sad. I'm a Christian myself, but I think it's like, there was some stuff that happened with churches that was quite sad, but I don't know the whole story behind that, and also it could have just been a few rogue soldiers with jihadist, terrorist mindset who did that, but Steve as a person who he was with the YPG, and I'm guessing the SDF himself, said that the SDF is much more inclusive. They were like Christians, Jews, Muslims, everybody all fighting together in the SDF. I mean, that's what Syria is. You have Damascus, which has not a lot, as like, it's a concentration of Christians. You got some Jewish places. We see a lot of Muslims. Syria is very Muslim. But yeah, I still am very happy that SNA did one. US forces killed ISIS leader Abu Sif aka Mahmoud in an airstrike in the Deir ez-Zor. Thank you, US. Thank you very much. I love how quickly they smoked the ISIS territories. Like, the second, like, they were airstriking them, and they were like, alright, let's clear these guys off the map, and then they cleared them off the map. Like, I didn't even notice when they did it. I closed the map, I came back like an hour later, and it was just gone. That's just how fast I did it. If I was to put myself on the political compass, I reckon I'd be just plain right wing. Like nationalism. I think nationalism is strong for the country, strong for a country. I'm somewhat a fan of capitalism to an extent. Definitely prefer capitalism over socialism and communism. And yeah, I don't like far right can be okay if you're not an extremist, but the second you become like a Muslim killer Nazi, yeah, then yeah, that's where right wing goes too far. But hey, it's the same with left wing, and you become a tyrannical, extremist, skinny idiot who follows the sheep in the red shirt. He says he's the best. That's panic. That was the Soviet Union for so long. They didn't even follow their leaders. Soviets didn't even follow their leaders. They were just forced to be that, so they were. Anyway, moving on. I want to check on what's happening in Somalia, Ethiopia. I reckon if there is a war, it's gonna break out between them. I think it's most likely gonna happen next year, so 2025. If not, I don't think it would happen. In my opinion. I think, okay, Ethiopia needs support at this point. Like, can they, I think they need to step up against the Fano Amhara a bit more. But I think the tensions have died down now. Look. There was an agreement reached. Here it is. Turkish W for once. So yes. What's going on in Nigeria at the Boko Haram? I have a friend from Nigeria. I have on TikTok. He said that around 2016, 2017, 2018, around that time, the Boko Haram insurgency got really bad. Had to close down schools because of it. So they were doing suicide bombings and just shootings and whatnot. Where are we? Nigeria. Is it Nigeria or Nigeria? I'm not sure. So not much happening. How about, let's look at Yemen. Where's Yemen? Yemen. They need a democratic government in Yemen, like, badly. I really need one. It's actually crazy how much the Houthis and these Yemenis, how much the red Yemenis, how much they hate they hate Israel so much. They'll launch drones from here all the way over here through the Egyptian border, through the Saudi Arabian border into Israel, just for it to get intercepted. They're not very bright at all. I feel like some stuff has changed here. Definitely. But yes, please do remove the Houthis. Please do it swiftly. Please remove them. And please, can you do an Operation Desert Storm and put a new government in place? Please. Wait, is the government that bad? I don't really know. It doesn't have to be nationalist, it just has to be democratic. Or a republic is fine. As long as it's a voted leader, the citizen's gonna say. Democratic republic, whatever. And that's good. Yeah, you gotta be joking me. Look at this. You've got to be joking me, yeah. How long does it take them to fly over there? Like, 7 hours of staring at a screen, controlling a drone just to get intercepted because it's going 7 kilometers an hour. Yes, W is right. Alright. Libya. Is the Libyan situation even progressing anymore? Like, is either side advancing or anything? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Like, Western forces, they have the capital and some other things. Yeah, they got the capital, which is good. And they're kind of just chilling there. And then we got the Russian side. Let's go this. The Russian side. If you want to see a key, here it is. Yeah, so UN-backed government. So like union stuff. So yeah. To advance the political process. So, what's exactly happening? I don't really understand. I need to research it more. Like, I know there was a Libyan civil war, and I know that ended. Did it end? I'm pretty sure it ended. Like, I'm pretty sure the actual fighting ended. But now, this is what I think happened. I'm not. Surprisingly, I'm actually not very educated on the Libyan civil war. I need to, in the political situation in Libya, I need to educate myself on that. This is what I think. So I know there was a Libyan civil war, and I'm pretty sure it ended, and I'm pretty sure this is what we were kind of left with. So the Russians own a bunch of shit. So Ukrainians. Okay, I've been saying Ukrainians for the past hour, so that's why. That's why when I go from saying Russia to other states, I instantly think of Ukraine. But yeah, I'm speaking like an idiot. I'm speaking like a nerd. Anyway, yeah, that's why. Yeah, there. Subscribe for. Subscribing. Is that blue? Yes, that's it. Otherwise, blue is good. Blue is good. We like blue. We don't like red. That's just, yeah, see, Russia has below Iran Syria. So, we don't like that. Is IL-36? Right there. So, where else? Should be looking, let's look at Burma. Oh, I want somebody, like, maybe Australia. Maybe, there should be, like, Australia should lead a coalition into the, into the Burmese civil war, into the Kashmir conflict, and should just work alongside the, what is it, NDG, National Democratic Group? What is it? Right, I think it is. Anyway, there's the Democrats. Even though I'm pretty sure they've done some bad stuff, government's done some awful stuff. So, yeah, I think they should just kind of work with them, not like alliancing with them, but working with them, so they achieve victory, and then can put a democratic system in Burma and finally just calm it down. I think this has been going on for like since World War II, it's the Second World War. These people need a break. Like they desperately need a Blake. Blake. They desperately need. Okay, it's getting late. What is it? Is it time? 2:57. They desperately. Oh my god. I'm not even trying to say this. They desperately need a break because they have this has just been going on for too long. For too long. No. I mean, an Australian coalition would be cool. If it's a coalition, it may as well be led by the US. But like, I don't know, this Australian incursion, kind of like a little Afghanistan war thing, where a bunch of nations join in. Yeah, PDF, I think. Oh no, not the PDF. No, that's bad. Is it? Wait, hold on. God, I am just so confused. I thought the Syrian civil war was bad. Like 3 months ago, I thought the Syrian civil war was bad. Now I have to deal with this. You wanna see the Wikipedia? You wanna see how long it is? Look. Not even halfway down the page yet. Not even. There we go. Like, okay, well that's all notes. But still, what's down? Like, go up to the top. Like, look at this! I thought the Syrian civil war was bad. What is going on? Where's the STF? Where's the... Oh my god. Tatmadaw, no. Don't like the Tatmadaw. Yeah, the NUG. That is it. National Unity Government. Yeah, belligerents. National. Wait, what? Wait, so no, I was wrong. I got it mixed up. The People's Defense Force are good. I got it mixed up. We don't like these dudes. We don't like the government forces. So the Tatmadaw, which is the defense force, which is the armed force. Fucking hell. Sorry. Excuse my language. The armed forces of Myanmar. The army, border guard, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, police, border police. And they got a bunch of blah blah blah. So can I like MNDA? So the NUG is the People's Defense Force. So yeah, what's the PDF? Yes, the People's Defense Force is here. And then what about the Arakan? Who were they with? Who are they with? Yep, they're good. They're good. With the NUJ. Junta. The Kachin Independence Army. They're good? Yes, they are. So they actually own quite a lot. And then what's all this blue? What's the blue about? Blue. The Karen. They're good as well, aren't they? Are they good? Yes, they are. Are they? Wait, there's the Arakan Liberation Army, and there's the Arakan Army. That's the Arakan Army, so that's good. You know what I'm gonna do? Oh, would I be able to? I like... Let me go... What does... They haven't done borders for Myanmar yet. Can they please do borders for Myanmar? It makes everything so much more simple. TNLA. Tunla. The TNLA. Over there. Thai Nationals. So they're nationals. So, they're good. Just confirm. Yep, Thai National Liberation Army. They're good. MNDAA. Are they good? MNDAA. MNDAA. Myanmar National Democratic Alliance Army. Yes, I can already tell they're good. Wa State. Wa State. How do you say it? Wa State. United Wa State Army. They good? They good or not? Where's the war? Where's the war, guys? Where's the war piece? Where's the war people? The wars. United War State Army. Let me about these guys. The non-state allies. Arakan. You know, no, they're good. They're good. Allies with China. Wait, what? The allies with the Tatmadaw. But the allies with... Wait, what? Okay, dude. What? That doesn't make sense. They're allied with... Okay, well... They probably think they're own state or something. They probably think they are their own state or something. Like that. Can I please have a closer look? So we got... Shan State Army. Shan State Army North. And the Karani IEC. Karen National Liberation Army. They're bad. The Chinland Council. Are they good? Do you like them? Do you like the Chinlands? Do we like those men? Yeah, they're cool. Alright. So that's... They're good. 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 Are they good? The Shan State, are they good? Shan State. No. Are they? The Shani. Is the Shani the Shan State? I think it is. This is so confusing. It's worse than the Syrian Civil War. It's worse than like the peak confusion era of the Syrian Civil War. It's so much worse. I love Burmese. Such a funny language. So what is about to? Oh yeah. So PDF for distance fighters. So the junta is yeah. The SAC. And the SAC is State Administration Council. Junta bad. That's what I'm getting at. I kinda already knew that. Okay. I'm getting really tired. We need some more. Is there more stuff I need to look at? Alright. I'm probably gonna end the stream there. Stream for a while. Stream more tomorrow, definitely. Excellent connection, good. But yeah. Definitely stream more tomorrow. But yes, alright. Thank you.